All right, here we go. Welcome to this edition of the Sports Office. It is great to have you here once again. We are back. Rich Luderman in the house. Great to have you back.
Thank you, Dan. I am every man. When it comes to sports in Detroit, I'm just a regular guy.
I've heard that.
I root for the home teams.
We've got a home team to talk about tonight. We're going to lead it off. Greg Cantor in the house. Great to have you here. Pistons taking on Victor Wembanyama tonight in San Antonio. We'll talk about that.
I have my log ready just in case
just a little bit. So we also invite you to join us right there. It is that Zoom link. You can click on it. We'd love to see your face up on the screen. We'd love to hear your take on the latest things happening in sports. But first, there is a really good story that's unfolding at Callahan Hall right now. And it is the Detroit Mercy Titans, who have won 4 in a row, moved up into second place with a group of teams battling it out in the Horizon League. But they are very relevant and a lot to play for. And it is a pleasure to welcome in their head coach, Mark Montgomery, who joins us right now. Coach, good evening to you.
Thank you for having me back on.
Hey, we appreciate the time. It's great to have you. And listen, it is great to see what's happening with your guys right now. Let's just start with yesterday. That's a big game with a lot of implications in the standings, and your guys delivered. Just your thoughts on what you saw.
Well, we're playing memorable basketball now again. It's like February, every game matters. We're in the fold. We had Green Bay dug out, like, the situation a week ago when he got tossed out of he didn't get tossed, he got teed. So it's major news in the Horizon League, and he's coming off a game suspension, and then all of a sudden his first game's back at Callahan Hall, which we're playing for second place. Great game. It was probably 15 lead changes. The game was going back and forth, but we found a way to home serve and get the victory.
Yeah. You talk about how exciting it is. Just when you guys beat Wright State, and to see you on the sidelines just running around high-fiving your guys, that was just such great stuff. And we saw it a little bit today. We used a little bit of it on the news. And it's just like that's showing you how exciting it has been, for the Titans right now.
And I think that permeates everything, doesn't it, Coach?
Well, when you can go on the road and be the first-place team, it kind of lifts your team like, hey, we can play with anybody in this conference, and we can win anytime, any place, and anywhere. And we did that at Wright State. And then we took that momentum. We came home. We beat Youngstown State. Then we beat Milwaukee 91-86. And then that just trickled. Then all of a sudden we beat Green Bay. And you look up, you're in second place, tied with Oakland and Robert Morris. And just so happens we play both those guys this week, Wednesday, Saturday. So it's winner take all now.
Yeah, it's good stuff. There's so much to dive into. Want to remind folks tonight's edition of the Sports Office is brought to you by Feiger Law. All we do is win. All they're doing right now at Callahan is winning. Hey, let me take you back for just a second to that Wright State game, Coach. Look, you guys had been playing better even before that. But did you see something from your guys, a little light go on when they win that game, as you said, against the team that's been leading the conference all year long, that, hey, man, we can now do this any night we go out there?
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, I remember Orlando Lovejoy came to me a week prior. He's like, Coach, do you think we could play with the best teams? Because we're right there. Can we beat the best teams? I said, well, you're going to get a chance to prove it yourself. We got them all coming up. You're going to have to be the leader of the group. By golly, he's been leading, his last 8 games, he's averaging 20 points a game, shooting over 50%. But anytime you get a road win and you get your guys trusting, believing, their focus, their determination, you can just see it that they're gelling, and it's at the right time. What a better time than right before March.
I want to ask you about that because it was something I wanted to hit on later, but you brought it up, and I want to get back to Orlando in a second as well. Look, you spent a lot of time with Tom Izzo, who is known as a guy who always has his teams playing their best basketball at the right time. And I just wonder, was there anything you pulled from that you now apply to your teams to try to make sure that as late February and March rolls around, you're at the top of your games?
Well, I try not to refer to other teams, but everyone knows that, Horizon League is a 1-bid league. and you can have a great regular season, but it's going to come down to March. And last year at this time, we're at the bottom looking up, but this year it feels more real. It's been a marathon all year, but now, you're in that final lap. So it's all right in front of them. We're jockeying for position. If you have a guy like Orlando Lovejoy that's coming off 2 straight games where he's averaging 28 points, like 5 rebounds, 4 assists, one player can get you over the top. Yeah. And then he can just lead the other guys. He has help, but against Green Bay, those 33 points, that one player, I just sat back and kind of watched. I called a few plays, called a couple timeouts, but he had that game in his hand, and it was fun to watch.
Dudes that lock down 33 points and make big shots at the end make good coaches, right?
Great coaches. And then when you foul him, he shoots 90%. I couldn't do that. So, I get all the credit, but the credit goes to the players because they're more focused in practice, at shoot-arounds, film sessions. You hear them talking about college basketball. You see them all hanging out together. I think they're all going to the Pistons game tonight, a group of them. So it's just fun that winning is back at Callahan because 2 years ago, like we all know, we only won 1 game.
Yeah. Orlando was the Horizon League Player of the Week. As you said, 28.5 points a game. Also getting it done on the boards, also getting it done, getting his teammates involved with assists. And I loved what you said after the game yesterday about this means something to him. This means something to him to get it done at Detroit Mercy. He's a young man from here. Look, everybody's a free agent now. He could go somewhere else, but you made the point he wanted to be here. Just tell us about that.
Well, after his junior year, he's averaging 17.5 points, and the phone's it was ringing before the season was over. And that's just how college basketball is now. And you have agents getting involved. But he said he came back to Detroit for a reason. He wanted to play in front of his fans. He wanted to get Detroit Mercy back in where people can talk good about it. And he lived it and he showed. It was probably more money at other places. And he said, you know what? We have a good group of guys coming back. We have a good recruiting class. I'm going to stick it out. He believed in me, but he also believed in Detroit Mercy. He believed that Detroit could be relevant again. And by golly, he's put the work in. Teammates has put the work in. And he has us relevant, which is great.
Hey, Coach, I've never met somebody in your position that doesn't love his guys playing defense. And I look at the end of that game yesterday when it's tight, and their last 4 trips down the court, they don't score. What did that mean to you to see your guys locked down at that critical time?
Well, it was back-to-back happened on Friday, too, because we had to get some stops and some scores, but even more when you're playing Green Bay because they like to grind out every possession. But it's like bringing in that relief pitcher or the closer, and all of a sudden he knows he has the best coming at him, and it's 1 out, 2 out, 3 out, we score, we make our free throws, we secure the ball, we rebound. Those guys were so down in the stands, locked in, and that's what basketball is about. If you defend and rebound, have a little grit and toughness, we kind of stole that from the Lions, you can find a way to win a game.
Hey, it works in all sports. It really does. And I wanted to, you mentioned the Pistons. Do you have a relationship with Coach Bickerstaff at all? And have you discussed the fact that you took over a team that won 1 game, he took over a team that had a 28-game losing streak, he's doing a nice job over there, you're doing a nice job there. Is there a little bit of crossroads in the experiences there?
Well, it's different levels, but when I was at Michigan State, he actually came up and spent a couple of days with our staff. He's more friends with Tom Izzo, but I got to sit in on the meetings like the entire staff, and he talked about how he's going to turn it around and this, and this, and that. And by golly, I refer to it when I first got back to Detroit. If the Lions could do it, and if the Pistons can do it, the Red Wings are back. It has to rub off somewhere. We're right down the street. Our guys do work out and sometimes do rehab at their facilities. So all of a sudden we're back. We just got to close. They're the number 1 seed right now in the East. So we still have a little work to do, but all those other sports, especially in a major city like Detroit, it does help us. It gives us that edge.
No doubt. But hey, I want to ask you about this week coming up because it is important because there's a lot on the line for you guys. But just a quick thought, too, on freshmen. Tyler Spratt is one freshman of the week twice for you guys. Lance Stone made a big shot yesterday for you guys. I think sometimes in this sport we forget a little bit that freshmen help too because we're so locked in on these guys that transfer and move from school to school. The kids that you bring in and develop can be just as important.
Right, and Jaquel Cotton, another freshman from Lyon, Ohio. You know, he made two big threes in the second half in that game. But freshmen, you know, college basketball is still about development, and you still have to develop, especially at a place like Detroit Mercy. You got to develop the freshmen, and you got to bring them along. Then all of a sudden, January and February, they're not quite freshmen, but they have more experience. And they have lived big moments in high school. Those guys have won some championships. They know what it's like to be a Titan. They know the history. Yeah. So the freshman class stepped up. TJ Nadeau, sophomore class, he stepped up. Legend Jesus, the senior from River Rouge, he stepped up. So we got this thing going with Michigan guys. When we closed out that game versus Milwaukee, we had 5 Michigan players on that floor. And I was so happy for that.
Yeah, that is awesome. Look, you mentioned Robert Morris. You got them coming up. They got you earlier this year. What'd you learn in that game? What do you have to do better?
Well, we got to finish the half. You know, we looked up, we were watching film today. In the second half, we're up 7 points with 15 minutes to go. We have to stay locked in. Don't turn the ball over. Have some toughness. Make some shots. Withstand some runs. And just close it out. So if we can close that last 3 to 4 minutes out and we have a chance to win, we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, 2 games left in the regular season. You got Robert Morris and then Oakland. And we were talking before we came on. Out there right now for you to earn and for you to take is having a home conference tournament game. And I got to imagine for somebody that took over a program and has seen it do this, to take that step this year would be really significant to be able to do that for this team and the student body.
Well, the goal of at the beginning of the season was to make sure we make it to Indianapolis. And the best way to do that is have a high seed and have a home game. It'd be great for our university, our alumni, our student body. We will have a home court advantage. So we just have to close it out, and that'll be a big step if we can close it out and get that home game. But either way, we're going to be ready when it comes March 3rd.
Love it. Coach, great stuff. Listen, we always appreciate your time. 4 in a row, 6 out of 7. Keep it going. 2 more in the regular season this week. Wish you the best of luck.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Great job. Great job.
We appreciate it. There he is, Mark Montgomery, joining us right there, head coach of the Detroit Titans.
I got to say, I usually get one question, usually like with these guests, because, you're the star and you get all these questions. I had the question. You stole my question.
Oh, is that right?
About the Tom Izzo. So I'm looking. I'm like, okay, one big lead. What you learned from Izzo? Nothing.
Well, you know what? It is.
Thanks, man.
There is.
I don't get a lot of airtime on this show.
We'll just say great minds think alike.
Okay, yeah.
But there is something to the fact that the best coaches have their teams playing their best basketball at this time of year. And I think it's even more of a journey now for these teams that have so much turnover. I mean, you just heard him talk about several freshmen that they're working in. And that also includes the guys that transferred in. So you take the freshmen, you take the transfers. Man, it's not like it used to be where you've got guys that are used to playing together. You really, truly have to build a team now. And that's why I think we're seeing teams around the country that are kind of doing this now, where maybe we didn't look at them that way 5 weeks ago because they didn't even know what they were.
No, it takes time to gel. And the advantage that that Coach Montgomery might have is all of the years with Izzo, who you could easily argue is the best preparation coach when it comes to tournaments.
Yep.
where he can scout ahead, not
Definitely
just the
the
team
second
you're playing.
game in a weekend.
Exactly.
He always tells his guys, you get the first one, I'll get you the second one.
Right. And what he's learned from over a decade with Izzo will help not only this week to prep them, but next week when it matters. And now he's got his team gelling.
How about a guy that takes over a team that won one game? And they won 8 games last year in his first season, and now they're 11-7. They're
Very
tied
exciting.
for second place. And let's throw a bone to Greg Campy as well. They're 11-7 too. They're fighting to get a home playoff game. And we'll get Coach on here as well coming up soon. And that game, I mean, we don't know how things are going to break, but Oakland and Detroit play this coming weekend. That game could be for a home playoff game in the Horizon League, which would be massive stakes for those two teams. Because the one thing you want to do is get the student body engaged. Because for a while, they had no reason to buy into the basketball program. Well, he and his guys are giving them a reason now to buy in.
For sure. And Oakland as well. Coach Campy yesterday at his speaking after their game, they just ended a 4-game losing streak. They won at the arena, and he actually got a little emotional in his post-game press conference or his post-game interview, speaking about how there were still tons of fans and students there, even though they had struggled recently. So it's going to be fun regardless. It's better when both teams are good.
Amen.
It
gives us something to talk about. Hey, look, this is good for them and way to build and keep it going, and we love it. And let's.
Rudy wants to talk Olympics after the break.
Olympics when we come back. We'd love to hear from you too. Hit that Zoom link right there. And we'll see your shining face up there saying hello. It's the Sports Office. Glad you're with us. Back right after this. They told me that Z was dark, so I'm lightning with my phone. House band right there, Zebo. Bring us back from break. Sports Office rolling on. Z, thank you very much, my man. Gold medal. Sobriety check for every member of the U.S. team. What do we think? Negative?
Oh,
not a shot.
Not even a little bit.
I saw something on the X earlier today that they were going to be in South Beach. I don't know if that's true or not tonight.
look out.
But can you imagine those guys rolling through South Beach? I don't even know if that's true, but we'll have to wait and see. We did hear that Dylan Larkin will play Thursday night for the Wings when they get back to work.
That is the plan.
Ottawa,
Yes.
Wow.
which is big. But
They don't know whether he's going to make it back here first. They got to figure out what's going on tomorrow with.
They may be at the State of the Union, something like that.
That is the rumor.
Yeah, that the men's team might be at the State of the Union. But
Wow.
And I think one of the cool things too is just listening to his teammates, how they were following him. And look, you got some Canadians on there that probably weren't rooting for him, but they were certainly following what their captain was doing, and there was some talk about that from the Wings.
We couldn't be more proud of Dylan and the way he carried himself throughout the tournament. He was a factor in a lot of things, but ultimately he won, and he was he played a big role in it. The experience there and the ability to play in big games under pressure like that can only do good things for him, and we're looking forward to getting him back.
What a moment for USA Hockey, and it's obviously been a long time coming since 1980, and ecstatic for a lot of those guys that I know that were on the team, the Hughes brothers, obviously Larks, and just the excitement level that those guys are having is, I'm sure it's an incredible feeling.
He's a great hockey player, a great leader. Has bled red, white, and blue. Has gone to so many world championships, and he deserves every minute of the attention that he's gotten and the success that he's gotten. So really happy for him and his family, and can't wait to hear all about all the stuff that you guys can't see.
I'm sure there's some good stuff, and everybody's talked about the Michigan connections. All four guys on the ice for the game-winning goal. The golden goal had Michigan ties. You had Olympic thoughts.
I was going to say, we who are older than you,
of a certain age,
we remember
Franz Klammer.
I remember Franz Klammer, and I remember 1980, Lake Placid. I remember I was 13 years old watching that game with my dad and my uncle, and it was extraordinary. But for a new generation, this was a great game. However, I didn't like the 3-on-3.
I agree with that.
I did not like it. Why not 4-on-4?
I know purists don't, but I just think it's so electric. You may not like it, and I know you're a hockey guy, a purist guy, but you cannot deny just how electric it is out there.
It's exciting, but the problem is it's the Olympics for a gold medal. You've worked so hard to get there.
Fair.
You've gotten there. Play it even. Don't play it gimmicky. Because even 4-on-4 is questionable. That was what it was in 2010 when Crosby won it. I'd say 5-on-5, play it. Who cares? As Tom McClellan said, they didn't nothing to do with the ice the rest of the day. Just play.
Do you think they did that because they don't want it to go 4 periods or something like that?
I think they might be scared of that.
Yeah, that it's going to go
because
forever.
It wasn't going to go very long.
Because there's nothing like playoff hockey, which is full strength, 5-on-5, which we love. And certainly, I think in a perfect world, probably that is the way to go, that you play it with 5 guys out there. But, oh my gosh, 3-on-3 for a gold medal.
I know.
I mean, it was like Birchie was saying last night on the show, that was so close to being Canada going the other way. And it just took a bounce for the U.S., and they got it done.
Great
All
win.
right, final thoughts right after this on this edition of the Sports Office. much snow they get on the East Coast?
They got clobbered. I mean, some spots like around
Is this like historic?
Not historic, but there will be spots near Boston, near Long Island, the eastern tip, 30 inches. 30 inches of snow. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, we get 4 or 5 around here. That's a lot. Yeah, 30 is way up there.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got a buddy in New York who's stuck there for a while.
He's stuck there for a while.
He just does. Yeah, when he gets home, he'll get home. That's the way he's looking at it.
It's gonna be a
I'm sure
while.
he's blowing like a 0.18 right now, having a good time. But he's like, when I get home, I'll get home, and he'll figure it out. There, he's not worked up about it. He's a dentist, so if you had a root canal planned with PK, it might be a little while. But that's just the way it goes. Listen, nothing weird in the weather here.
No, chilly next few days.
It's cold out.
It was cold today. It was brisk and it was cold.
Yeah, I thought you said it was spring.
No. It's not
okay.
spring. It's still February.
Just checking. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sports Office. We've got a lot coming up on the show tonight. Pistons and Spurs.
Pistons and Spurs, huge game. Their Pistons down a little bit right now, but it's the NBA.
Nothing they can't overcome.
And, more from the wings and
all that
good stuff.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Dan Petrie scheduled to join us.
Woo!